Hello, welcome back to another 20 minutes of gameplay. Today we are going to take a look at Thea The Awakening, a very interesting strategy game that is currently available as an early access title on Steam. Although calling Thea The Awakening a strategy game is not exactly right, since the game is more of a survival game with strategic gameplay. Thea The Awakening is inspired by Slavic mythology and is set in a post-apocalyptic fantasy world where only a handful of humans have survived and they are trying to rebuild their home and regain their glory. So let's not waste any more time, go ahead, start a new game and see how good is Thea The Awakening in 20 minutes more or less. And this is how you begin the game. You're actually playing a god that is trying to help its followers to survive and endure the difficulties that this post-apocalyptic world has to show. These two are the beginning deities, Mokos and Morena. As you can see, as I'm going to explain, the more you play the game, the more stats, the more skills your deities have. You unlock skills for them and you can use them in later games, and this is something very good and it increases the replayability of the game. Also, the more experience you gain, you can unlock more deities. You only start with Mokos and Morena, which both have different stats and different characteristics, and later you can unlock others such as Varog. So let's start with Mokos. At the beginning, she only has the first skill. All your villagers get a +1 bonus to gathering. Morena has each character that joins your settlement gets +1 skill point, and Svarog that I have just unlocked has this skill. During day turns, all your villagers get a +2 bonus to damage and rage damage. You can decide which one of these deities you want to play, and each one of these deities have a different way to play the game, but of course you can follow your way and do whatever you want. I'm gonna start with Mokos, one of the two beginning deities, and let's see how good is this game. Of course, there are more options. You can decide the focus of your citizens, of the humans that are alive: warriors, gatherers, craftsmen. These three options, I'm gonna leave it to warriors, world size small and difficulty normal. There is info about your deities. You can read about them a bit more and know what drives them, what drives your humans, and what will help you survive. So let's go ahead and start with Mokos. And this is how the game begins. This is some kind of a tutorial. You can read it and it actually tells you that you have to start collecting food and various resources in order to help your people survive and help them create better equipment for them. You can skip it, you can go and read it if it's your first playthrough. Let's go ahead and start the game. And this is where we start. What is unique about Thea The Awakening is that there is only one city, one village. You cannot build a second city, you cannot expand your territory. You have to protect your village and you have to gather resources in order to survive. The world is randomly generated every time you start a new game, and let's go ahead and start managing our village. In here we can see what kind of buildings we have at the moment, what is built, and what our resources are. We can see the inventory. There are 4 adults in the village and 2 children, which are quite viable and a bit rare, not very rare. You must invest in children, and as they grow up they will help you survive and they will help with the task in the village. What we can do in the village with the people that are staying behind is that they can be assigned to gather the different resources that are nearby around the village. So for example, we can start gathering mushroom or vegetable for food. Let's go with mushroom, and we can now assign one of our adult villages. We have 4 options, and each one of these villagers have different stats for gathering and crafting. For example, Kazimiera has 8 on crafting and 8 on gathering and 1 on crafting. We can set her to start gathering mushroom, and we can order her to never stop doing this. We can do the same with the others. And let's collect wood next, which is important. It acts as a fuel, but it's also useful in crafting items and building structures. Let's put the Brava, do the same, and we can do the same for every resource that is around our village, or we can even start a second order to collect mushroom, and we can put one of the other two. I'm not gonna do this at the moment, but in general it is wise to collect as much food and resources around your village as possible. But there's not only gathering you can do in your village, there is also crafting. We can start crafting gathering tools, which will increase the gathering stat of one of our villagers, and they help us gather more resources. In order to build gathering tools, we're gonna need 3 materials: the primary material, the secondary material, which can be one of these 2 options, and the catalyst. We can go ahead and choose whatever we want. We don't have straw, so we cannot build at the moment. Something else that is very interesting is that every resource has variants. So for example, wood is regular wood, we have elven wood and dark wood. Whenever you use one of the variants, it will give different characteristics and different abilities and traits to the item that you are crafting, so it is wise to keep them, to save them, and use them later for equipment, for armor, or a weapon. And of course there is constructing, where we can build structures that will help us survive and will give our village more opportunities, will give our village a better chance for survival. Let's get out of the village. That's pretty much all you can do inside your village. Gather resources, try to survive. There are enemies that every now and then will try to attack your village, so it is good to have enough villagers inside that can defend it successfully. A very important tool to your survival is your expeditions. You can choose to send some of your villagers outside to start exploring and gather other resources. If we open the resources panel, we are going to see that if we want to collect meat, we cannot do it with the villagers inside our village. We have to set an expedition party, so let's do that right now. I'm gonna send them over there. And we can manage our expedition party pretty much like the village. We can go over here, set a camp, and we can assign them to start gathering, assignment tasks. So here we can gather straw that is not nearby our village, meat, and wood and food, whatever we want. We have 6 people on the expedition party. I think the maximum is 6 people. You can go with even 1 or 2, but it will be difficult to survive if you find any enemies. Let's let them collect resources for 1 turn. We can also see the inventory, take a look on our people, what they are carrying, what they have found already, and what is their armor and weapons. Let's close, we can see this better. Over here we can choose each one of them and see their equipment. We can give them shields. Later you can build shields, you can do whatever you want. You can build armor, and by researching, in general, by going out there, exploring and completing different tasks, you gain research and experience points. When you complete this cycle on both of them, you get 1 extra research point to spend and gain new materials or gain a new structure to build. And experience points, when you complete this cycle, your villagers get stronger. So let's go ahead and take a look at the research. You can research whatever you want from these 3 categories: gathering, crafting and construction, and you can pretty much focus on the category you want. You can choose a new resource So for example, if we choose amber, researching amber will add 10 units of this resource to your settlement's inventory and reveal at least one place where it can be gathered. Let's go with it for now, confirm it, and our expedition should now have some amber. No, not our expedition, our village. There it is, 10 amber. We just got it from the research we have unlocked, and you can open the resource panel and find where you can go and collect amber. Over here, down there. This is why the expedition party is very important, because you cannot gain certain resources without sending your expedition and expedition party out there to collect them. It is very important to build certain structures, to build armor, to build weapons, to build everything you want. Let's end the turn here. Random events are happening when you are playing the game. There is a story you can follow. There are also these random events. So one of your people has particular talent for teaching. Kids and adults alike find it easy to learn from them. And you will always have a couple of options to choose. Let's go with this one. Great, let them teach us speech. One of your people becomes more skilled at speech, and you gain different traits. You can gain better stats, you can get a curse. Depending on the event that is happening, you are going to have positive or negative impact. I'm sure that you have noticed that the game looks a lot like other strategy titles such as Civilization. You move on hexagons and it is a turn-based. Quite interesting. Let's break the camp and move down here where is the treasure box icon. In locations like this we can find items. Let's choose our expedition and take a look on the location. Again, whatever you do, there are going to be plenty of choices. You can choose whatever you want to do. You can leave or you can search. You stumble across some ruins of an old city engulfed in mist and mystery. Let's search. You open one of the buildings, a strange looking stone metal build affair, and you hear a clanking noise, then a blood thud. Within seconds the streets of this city are filled with walking skeletons. Fight. And of course combat is very important in this game. You need to fight a lot of enemies in order to survive, so we are now going to fight one skeleton and 4 rats. Let's begin combat. Every encounter in the game, if it comes down to combat, or not only combat, if you try to sneak or if you try to assassinate someone, it is resolved like this, with this mini game, this card mini game, which is quite interesting and very well made. We have 2 options, 2 stacks of our cards. Actually, our cards are villagers, our expedition party. We have 3 of them as active and 3 of them as passive. We can use our active villagers right away, send them in the battlefield, put them over there and start fighting the enemies. The fight is not going to begin until all units are placed. And we can use our tactical options. They have some abilities. So for example, confuse opponents. Most recently played offense card loses its attack in the first fight phase. If we use confuse, the rat won't be able to attack on the first turn. That's not gonna help us because the skeleton is going to do 20 damage and kill our villager. So let's find for something else that might help us defeat the skeleton. And we can see that obvious lava has first action. Your most recently played offense card advances to the top of the action queue. If the card's level is higher than first action level, a card played earlier will be the skill's target. But there is no valid target for the skill. That could help us. We can protect our ally, increase its defense, and this will help us survive. Let's go with protect ally. That will increase his defense and it will make it possible for us to survive the skeleton attacks and later counterattack and kill it. But that's not going to be enough. The rat is going to attack after the skeleton and it's probably going to kill our warrior. Let's end the turn. We can use one of the tactical units and put them on the battlefield with get closer, but they won't be able to attack on the first turn, so that's not really the best thing to do. The best option for us now would be to confuse the other rat, and that way our warrior will survive the encounter. You have a certain number of cards that you can play during your phase, during your turn, and this will continue until all units are in game. When all units are inside the game, the fight will begin. Let's get you in there. End the turn. So the enemy has used all of his cards and now we can use ours. Let's get you in there, Svetlana. And first action, we cannot choose the first action. Let's get closer. So we will have 4 of our guys, 4 of our villagers in the battlefield. And now we can see how the game it will play. So it is pretty much you plan your strategy, you try to do the best, and then you are watching the combat. We have survived the attack of the skeleton, we have killed the rat, and we're now watching the battle. We are probably going to lose our warrior. They don't die, they get wounded. Okay, this is good. And there is only the skeleton left, so we will be able to kill it easily. We have 5 cards to play, all of our cards actually. 17, that will kill him. He is playing first, so we can even confuse him, although that was not needed. And now all we have to do is play everyone else, and we are going to win the battle. Every encounter, no matter if it's a battle or not, even if you're trying to stealth your way through, will have to be resolved with the card mini game. This is quite interesting and there is strategy involved. The gameplay with the card mini game is quite good, and after you have won the challenge you gain some resources. We also got a nice bone spike armor and some topaz. Very interesting. 2 of our villagers were wounded and they might die if they don't get healed. Take the stuff and leave this place. Close. Let's take a look on the things we got. We have found this nice bone armor. It's the second one. We can equip it on one of our warriors if we want and increase their survivability, increase their armor. We can do the same with pretty much everything we find, with weapons, armor and other items. So I'm not gonna stay there because the small rat lair may be danger for us. Let's get back and let's end our turn. There is a day and night cycle, and at night enemies are a lot more difficult. They also attack your village a lot more often, so it would be nice to have enough villagers inside your village that can help you survive. We can tell them to start collecting since they are wounded and it will take some time to get healed. We can give them an order for 10 turns, leave them there and collect enough food. When we feel that we want to return to the village, we can do it. We have, let's take a look on our inventory. We have a lot of good new resources that will be nice to get them back to the village, so we can break our camp, take our expedition, get back into the village, get inside, join the village, and now everybody is inside our village. can manage them. We can take a look on the inventory. We have all the resources that we have found inside our inventory on the village, and if we want, we can stay here for a couple turns, collect food, collect every resource that is available around our village, and use them to build everything we want, every item we want. But it will be wise to create expedition parties and start exploring. The game has a lot of exploration, since there is only one village, one city that you can build and defend. It will be very wise to start looking around. Let's create a new expedition. We can pick whoever we want. Let's go with 6 members again. We can check their equipment if we like what they have, and we can give them some resources. Let's give them some wood and some food to survive. Confirm. We can create the expedition, and they are ready to start moving around again. And this is how you explore, this is how you gain more resources, this is how you can gain resources that are not close to your village. There is a main story that you can follow, or you can go wherever you want, do whatever you want. There will be plenty of events happening randomly, and you can follow them. Depending on the outcome of these events, the results will be different. Your party will have to deal with different creatures, with other characters. Generally, it is very well made. It has a rich story and very enjoyable to play. Speaking of events, here is one. A figure of a beautiful woman dons in flowers and leaves appears before you as a daydream. A sweet smell of spring flowers and young lambs follows her, and everywhere she steps, grass grows greener. And yet as her foot lifts again, anything that lives withers. Her eyes are filled with sorrow. You can choose to react to this event, to these characters, any way you like. Hello my lady, are you okay? I seek not to do you harm, human child. I am but a lost god, fallen, stripped of my power to give life, robbed of my people, tainted forever by this rotting disease that is the darkness. Zivia was my name. But fear not, my curse is my own, and whatever vile force set it upon me, it cannot command me to do harm to another. Right, so what are you doing here? I once was what you may call a god, but I am no more. For what is a god if not a creature who serves its children? But I have none. I betrayed the light, and now I must serve penance. But now let us speak of your wounds, children. Our wounds, why? I cannot offer to heal you as I once could, yet I can offer you a gamble. As part of the curse, my healing touch now carries the risk of a curse, so you have 2 roads to take if you wish to play. 1, I shall heal you, but you will likely become cursed. Or 2, if you have those who meddle with the magic arts, they can attempt to guard against the taint, but beware. If they fail, the price may be high. Pray understand I do this not out of joy, but only to offer help such as I can. We can decide if we want her to heal us with the risk of becoming cursed, or we can leave and start looking at another location. Let's accept, we don't want to play with magic, but we need the healing. Let's do it. The woman places her hands upon your shoulders, and the sweet spring smell of breezy air and freshly cut grass overwhelms you. Your wounds are much better now, but some of you may face a curse. The woman takes a few steps back. She starts walking. Her features become clear to you. Wait, what woman? Perhaps it was just a daydream. So she kind of healed us, but we have also gained some curses. Continue your journey, and with every event that is completed, every task that you complete, you gain resources and you gain points for research and experience. This is pretty much what Thea The Awakening is. An exploration game, a survival exploration game with strategic gameplay. It's very interesting, very fun and enjoyable to play, and it is updated constantly. The developers are doing an excellent job, and they are trying to fix all the little problems that exist or appear in the game. I'm having a lot of fun playing it. It is a great title for everyone that loves survival and strategic gameplay, and I definitely recommend it, even though it is an early access title. Thank you very much for joining me watching this video. I'm SquidofLuv, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.